The map drew the house while Mara then watched. Not a house symbol, not a blurred survey mark. A porch. A chimney. A kitchen window with a light behind it. The same house Mara lost 17 years ago. The house had burned down before I began filing county cases. There was no foundation left to draw, no address that still belonged to it. There was only an empty lot and a fire report Mara had folded enough times to soften its corners. Where the lot number should have been, the pencil wrote a sentence Mara had never told me. Elise is still upstairs. Mara did not say her sister's name in the first 10 minutes she spent in the map room. She did not say it when she laid the fire survey on my desk. She did not say it when the road appeared. But the map did. At the time, I thought the map knowing a private sentence was the worst thing it could do. 3 hours later, Mara still remembered Elise. She still remembered the house. But she could no longer remember the sound of Elise saying her name. Case 46. Warden Office. Map Room. Filed as a boundary correction. That was the county's phrase for it. A boundary correction. A useful phrase. It can mean a fence is in the wrong place. It can mean a property line has been drawn badly. It can mean a road exists on paper and nowhere else. Mara brought 2 papers. The first was the survey made after the fire. On it, her childhood lot was a clean, empty square with an insurance number in one corner. The second was the county map, newly printed and still smelling faintly of warm paper. On that one, a thin blue road ran from the curb through wet grass to the exact place the kitchen had once stood. I don't need you to find it, Mara said. I need you to erase it before somebody else sees it. She said it like a fire inspector, identifying a broken stair rail, like the danger was ordinary, measurable, and somebody else's responsibility to repair. Mara had spent most of her adult life cataloging the things a fire leaves behind. Heat patterns, empty windows, a wall that falls in the wrong direction. She knew what a building could keep after the people were gone. She also knew a road could not appear because a person wanted it to. But it had appeared. And it did not lead out of town. It led home. The brass key was looped on red thread around Mara's wrist. Its teeth were bent. The metal had darkened where heat had touched it. It had not opened anything, since the lock it belonged to melted in the fire. Elise used to wear it after school. When she came home, she tapped the key against the front door 3 times before she went in. 1, 2, 3. Mara said it was Elise's way of saying she was home before she spoke. A private little signal, too small for anyone else to notice unless they were waiting for her. On the night of the fire, Mara found the key before she found Elise. She did not tell me that, because she wanted forgiveness. People like Mara know forgiveness is not a county form. There is no box to initial beside the moment you chose wrong, or too late, or not at all. She told me because the blue line curved around the key as she held it above the paper. Not touching it, just recognizing it. As if the map knew that the key belonged to the house more surely than Mara did. Then Mara asked for an eraser. I handed her one. Mara pressed it to the paper and erased the road from the curb to the kitchen square. The blue line returned. She erased it a second time, slower now, deliberate. A person can do almost anything carefully enough to believe it will become a different act. This time, the paper remained blank. Mara looked toward the rain-dark window for a long time. Then she asked me what color the lilacs by the porch had been. I did not know. Neither did she. Elise had used to break off a branch and hide it under her coat. Their mother would scold her for bringing pollen into the house. Mara knew that had happened. She could still say the words, but the color that made the memory hers had gone missing. That was when I understood the map was not erasing the house. It was erasing what Mara used to prove the house had been real. The road came back before either of us touched the paper again. It was longer now. Its blue line stopped beside the small square the map had made into a kitchen. Mara erased it a third time. Then she lifted the key and asked, "Did Elise wear this around her neck?" "Yes," I said. "What did she say when she put it on?" I remembered that there had been an answer. I remembered the shape of a joke shared by 2 sisters. But I could not remember the joke. Mara could not remember it either. She set the eraser down. The road redrew itself from the curb to the kitchen square, calm as a correction made by someone who had been waiting for us to finish arguing. It was not taking memories at random. It was taking the details that tied Elise to the house. The lilacs, the key, the small sentence that belonged to both of them. Each time Mara erased the road, the map took one more piece of evidence she carried inside herself. Mara did not erase it again. Instead, she looked at the road, then at the office door. The line on the paper had stopped being a drawing. It had become an instruction. The lot was still empty when we reached it. Wet grass, a leaning fence, no foundation, no chimney, no scar that could persuade a stranger a family had ever lived there. For a moment, Mara looked smaller than she had in the map room. Not frightened, just stripped of the official distance she had used to enter it. Then she stepped through the grass and her boot struck new pavement. It was narrow, black and clean enough that the rain had not yet had time to dull it. It ran from the fence through the empty lot and stopped at a door standing by itself. There was no wall around the door, no roof above it, no house except the one the map had already drawn. The key warmed in Mara's hand. I told her not to open it. If my sister's voice is on the other side, she said, I have to listen once. That was the choice the map had been arranging. Mara could keep erasing until the old lot became a fear with no name. Or she could follow the road and see what remained at the end of it. She turned the key. The door opened into the kitchen. Not a copy of a kitchen. Not a burned room remembered badly. The room was clean. The refrigerator hummed. 2 chairs stood at the table. Everything waited with the patient stillness of a house whose people had only stepped into the next room. On the 3rd stair was a blue cup. Mara stopped so completely that I thought she had forgotten to breathe. 1, 2, 3. Then a child's voice said, Mara. She took 1 step into the kitchen and another toward the stairs. Then she stopped at the bottom step. Elise never got older, Mara said. That was when she understood what the house was offering. It was not bringing Elise back. It was holding open a version of the fire in which Mara never ran outside, never carried the key for 17 years, never lived long enough to become the person standing in the kitchen. If she went upstairs, she could have Elise, or something that knew how Elise had sounded before the fire, but both of them would stay inside the address the map was trying to make real. The house did not want a visitor. It wanted an address with people in it. Mara placed the key on the 1st step. I'm sorry, she said. Above her, Elise called her name again. Closer this time. Mara stepped back. She did not slam the door. She did not run. She closed it carefully, the way a person closes the bedroom door of a child who has finally fallen asleep. At the same moment, the last blue line on the map erased itself. The door was gone. The kitchen was gone. The key fell warm into Mara's hand. What did she just say? Mara asked. She knew Elise had called her name. She knew the sound had hurt. But the sound itself had already gone. The map had taken its final proof from the moment Mara refused its false address. It did not take Elise away. Elise had been gone for 17 years. It took the one thing Mara could no longer use to summon her back inside herself. By morning, the lot was empty again. The road had gone. There was no door, no pavement, no mark in the grass except the places Mara's boots had pressed it flat. Mara kept the key. She remembered Elise. She remembered the blue cup on the 3rd stair and the 3 small knocks against the upstairs door. She remembered that she had chosen not to climb those stairs. But when she tried to hear Elise's voice, there was only silence. I took the map back to the archive. Mara's house had faded from it until it was almost only a scratch in the paper. Then another house began to appear in the lower corner. No name, no lit window, only an address I had never given anyone. Mine. If a map gives you a road home, ask where it is trying to take you.